Hey guys, it's Sam, and this is my gripe video for the Ruby Red Trilogy by Kristen Gear, consisting of Ruby Red, Sapphire Blue, and Emerald Green. This video will have spoilers in it, so if you want to watch my spoiler-free review, I will link that down below for you to check out. So if you guys have already watched the review, you know that I kind of really was disappointed with the last book in the series, so the gripe is basically going to be all about Emerald Green, and how much this was a letdown for the entire series. So basically, I just want to rant about all the things I feel weren't explained in the series, and you had so much time. You had plenty of time to explain that, and it wasn't, and it just left me feeling really disappointed. So number one, I do not believe that the Count's plastic surgery was so good that he could pass for Mr. Whitman and didn't look at all wrong. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen plastic surgery people that have just had like tons of plastic surgery on their faces. Like, it doesn't look normal. It doesn't. And it doesn't matter how good the plastic surgeon was. Like, you can always tell that somebody had a little bit of work done, like, especially if you have to have like a whole facial reconstruction. So I don't believe that. Like, yeah, that was a twist I didn't see coming because it was completely unbelievable. And speaking of the Count, why did the Count and Gwen have supernatural powers and nobody else? So she could see ghosts and be immortal, and he could control people with his mind, kind of, which he only did like the once. And what? Like, in the first book, I thought it was kind of hinted at that maybe Gideon also had, like, mind-reading abilities or something, and I was thinking, like, oh, maybe every time traveler will have a supernatural power of some kind. That would be really cool. No. So why do they have supernatural powers? Like, how did that happen? Why was that not explained to us? Why was that significant? Like, I thought maybe because she was immortal, she could see ghosts or something, and that was like... No. No. Nothing was explained to us. And since the Count had those, like, really crazy mind control abilities, like, why didn't he use them? Like, the last 5 pages were, like, they're having their, like, standoff, and he was so easily defeated, and it's like, if you have these, like, crazy powers that you can, like, you know, like, telekinesis or whatever it's called, how did you get defeated that easily by a teenager that you met, like, 2 weeks ago? Who's... What? And connected to that, why was Gwen immortal? Like, what reason? Like, we kind of had Leslie saying, like, maybe it's because you have genes from both time travelers, but, like, is that it? Like, is that the explanation we got? Because it doesn't really make any sense to me. Like, why would that matter? Why would that matter? Like, the next problems I had were, like, all surrounding the time travelers and, like, the Guardians and everything. So, number one, the Count was, like, somewhere in the middle of the genealogy. So why was he the guy that was controlling everything, controlling the chronograph, and controlling, like, the Philosopher's Stone and everything else? Like, why wouldn't one of the original people have figured this all out and wanted the immortality for themselves before he got to it? Like, how did that happen? Like, where were all those people? Like, the original time travelers? Like, shouldn't he have been one of the first ones? And instead he was, like, in the middle. Also, where did the prophecies come from? There's all these prophecies surrounding all the different people, all the stones, everything else. Who made those prophecies? Because no one knows about them, and the Guardians were put in place because of the time travelers, and they weren't there before. So who was making all these prophecies? And where did the chronograph come from? Like, who made that? Where was that from? How did we find it? How did they figure out, like, and it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, it just works. And you guys can just, here's how to do it. Easy. You know, and there was magically too, like, it just doesn't, a lot of things just don't make sense in my head. These last ones are just some minor ones. The epilogue I found ridiculous. Like, so her possibly brother or her, like, grandson end up maybe being Mr. Bernard the butler? What? That doesn't make any sense. Like, apparently, you know, her parents were setting them up to have enough money to, like, make it in the future, yada yada. So then why does he end up being a butler? Like, what? 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 And did he know this? Like, what? What? And also, if she cured James the Ghost and he survived, then she shouldn't have remembered James the Ghost because she would have cured him. Like, that should have just been kind of wiped out of her memory because she would have never met him because she cured him in the future. You know, like, she cured him in the past. Even though she cured him in the future, she cured him in the past. Like, she shouldn't remember him anymore. Technically. From, like, timeline things. But nothing really makes sense in this book anyway, so I guess it's fine. But by the end, that just kind of annoyed me too. And lastly, the biggest thing was the insta-love between Gideon and Gwen. he was a jerk to her for like almost all of the books, and there was like no communication there. They like really didn't talk. He did like a sweet thing for her like a few times, and she like loved him. She's talking about love and her broken heart and yada yada yada, and it was just like, you've known him for like a week, and she kept even saying how long she knew him. Like, these books take place over like maybe 3 weeks, maybe? Like, you guys are not in love with each other. I'm sorry. You're not. It's ridiculous. Stop it. And then he goes and takes the immortality potion. Like, you guys really think, you guys really think that him being immortal is gonna make you guys like stay together and be in love and everything for your whole lives? You think that's gonna happen? 'Cause I don't. I don't think that's gonna happen at all. I think he's a big giant jerk. And I think you're really naive and dumb. So, when that happened, I was just like, I was already kind of done, and that happened, I was like, I'm just so done with this. Like, you guys are not Romeo and Juliet. Stop. Stop. I need to stop talking about this. I'm getting annoyed. I'm sorry. This is supposed to be a gripe and not a rant. It's supposed to just be a little bit of complaining, and I'm just feel like I wasted so much time reading these books last month, because I read all of them. I think it took me like 2 weeks to really finish all of them, and it's just like, wasted time. So comment down below and let me know if you read the series, if you enjoyed it, if you agree with me. If you really enjoyed the series, I'm really sorry that I completely was like bashing the last book. I'm sorry. I had a lot of problems with it. I obviously told you why. So, that's all I'm gonna say about it. So comment down below and just whatever you want to say, just say it, because I'm done with this series. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!